Okay, now we've talked about the fact that we need to create a strategy. We've talked about connecting to our purpose. And we've kind of already looked at it in our past and said, okay, this is where we were. This is kind of where we are now. And now we really want to look at our future, right? Because we want to look at past, present, and future. And so we did look at past first. We looked at present, and now we're going to look at the future. So we want to actually put it all together as we're kind of connecting to the future, because remember the slingshot kind of thing that I mentioned, right? That slingshot method of pulling back so that we can go forward, and we want to go more further ahead than we were before. So as we are thinking about our future, we really want to look at, let's see, things like, well, what we talked about from the beginning, our dreams, right? What are these dreams that we have? Where are these dreams coming from, right? And so for those of you who are believers in God, believers that God is our creator, the creator of all things, creator of the universe, what are the, you understand that these dreams have come from God. Whatever it is that you are desiring to do, this is something that he placed in your heart to do. This is something that you're just like, man, I feel like God is calling me to something. I feel like God is kind of giving me this idea. And so whatever this is that you feel that he has dropped in your spirit, what is it? Right? Now, understand when it comes to things like, dreams and thoughts or whatever that we feel that God placed in our spirit, we do kind of like we say, see in part and hear in part, right? So which means that we're getting this information, but we don't always understand it at first, and that's okay. But that's why we want to keep writing that out and keep working on it, and then surrounding ourselves with individuals to kind of help us to kind of understand what it is that we're feeling, what it is that we think we're seeing, what it is that we think we're kind of like being led towards, as far as a future, as far as a career, as far as a business, and using all of our gifts, talents, and abilities, right? So, we need some help sometimes. Nonetheless, you definitely want to document what are the dreams that you believe God has given you or dropped in your spirit. And as you continue to reflect on what you believe that God has dropped in your spirit, you want to also look at the goals that you have that you want to achieve before you physically die. What are some of the goals that you want to achieve before you are no longer on this earth? So you want to actually write these things down, because again, if we only have them in our head, they're just thoughts. We're trying to create an actual plan. We're trying to get something that we can see and stick to, because, we can create vision boards, and vision boards are great. But again, it's a mural. It's a collage of things that we kind of put together, and they're only as good as the action plan that we create to achieve what's on our vision board. All right. So we need to understand the goals that we have in our minds that we want to achieve before we are no longer on this earth. Now, as you're thinking about some of these visions, as you're thinking about some of these goals, that's going to connect you with like, well, I know I have this goal because this goal is connecting me to this vision. If I accomplish these goals, it's going to get me to this one big thing up here. It's going to take me closer and closer to accomplishing this thing or getting closer to this thing here. And so what is that, right? What are the visions that you're having about your life and your future? What does it look like to you? What do you want your life to look like? What do you imagine your life looking like? Are you planning on living a certain type of lifestyle? Are you planning on living in a certain area? Are you planning on having a family? Do you not want to have a family? Do you want to adopt a family? Whatever that looks like to you, what visions are you having considering your life and your future? So again, jot these things down because, again, we want to connect our past, present, and our future as we are developing this map. And so as you're doing all of this, you should really already start seeing some things coming together for you.